Yeah, I just installed these Firestone Weathergrip tires, and they're like all seasons, but you can see they're pretty aggressive. Um, Pretty aggressive attire. And I looked up the country code on them. They were made in North Carolina, so they're freaking USA. Here I cut up the old tires here, and get rid of those damn things. And I used a manual tire changer, which worked very well. Worked very well. To take the old tires off, I know a lot of people say use soap around the rim. I don't really, and I put a little bit. I use grease to take off the old tires. They're on there like 15 years. And to install them, you might want to put a little bit of grease right around this edge over here, because you won't scratch it, you know, with the manual changer. And I used the bubble balancer, which that piece goes on there. And you notice I put a lot of grease on the tip of that, and I took this apart, cleaned it all up. Worked out well. As a matter of fact, the one tire that didn't have a weight on it, you know, when it was installed years ago, that balanced out right smack in the middle. Then the other tire that had a weight on it, on the opposite side, the weight went back almost exactly, well, maybe about 6 inches away from where it was. That weight right there. And you know, it's kind of confirming that the bubble balancer works pretty good. I think I've had a problem with the bubble balancer before, but you know what you got to do is you really got to clean them up. You got to make sure this is greased over here, so when that slides down, the inside of the hub is greased, slides down right smack in the center. You want to make sure this is oiled up with synthetic oil, so it goes down nice and smooth all the way around. And make sure this component is all cleaned up too. And then this, it's got some grease on there, because it'll slide, it'll, you know, just float on there really good. The other thing is you want to split the weight front to rear. You know, I started thinking about, this is some common sense. You know, people were driving like in race cars, like 200 miles an hour and stuff, and setting land speed records way the hell over 200 miles an hour, right? Hundreds of miles, whatever the hell they were. I don't even know when they came out with the digital bubble balancer, but I mean the digital tire balancer, but they didn't have one in the early 60s, I'm almost sure of it, right? I mean, they sure as hell didn't have them on regular passenger cars. And you might say the tire technology just changed, but it couldn't have changed that much. You know, so this thing should work. You know, I think the problem is the success rate depends upon, you know, how well you maintain that bubble balancer. Like, in other words, it's got to be cleaned up, it's got to be oiled and greased. You know, it can't be, you know, if one of these bars here is sticking or something, it's not going to go down on it even. You know. And you also got to split the weight front on the inside and the outside, because you know, you're not going to see the tire is going to have a weight difference along the outside. It's not going to necessarily be like a whole bunch of weight on the inside in one spot. It's going to be, you know, across the width of the tire on that one part of it. Like, you know, if you're looking at it, let's say it's at 90 degrees or something, it's not going to be at 90 degrees and only on the inside or only on the outside. So that's why you want to split the weight from the front to from the inside and the outside. That's probably one of the reasons why sometimes the bubble balancer doesn't work. But in this case, you know, that weight was on there like that before, and it went back. So I didn't split the difference with this, you know. So I got the front ones coming too. I'm gonna put those things in. And the reason I like these Weathergrip tires is because I like running snow tires all the time. Like, I got snow tires on this El Camino here, right? Front and rear. They're Cooper, made in the USA. And again, like the Firestone Weathergrip, it's a Japanese company because now Bridgestone bought out Firestone, but they're still made in North Carolina. Cooper's USA all the way. Made in USA, 100%, and a USA company. And these were Firestone. I don't know. They're like the full winter. What the hell are they? Winter something. These are like actual full snow tires, you know. And I haven't had any problem with running the snow tires or the winter tires on the 4x4 in the Chevy. This thing. But I tell you, one time I went up to Georgia and I ran 4 snow tires on that thing. It melted them. It melted them. I was in the summer. I'm doing about 75, 80 miles an hour down the highway for like 200-300 miles. Fucking, it melted them. Brand new ones. Now, what I'm thinking is, you're not going to have that. There's just cars coming by here, man. I'm not going to have that problem with the all season because the rubber compound isn't like a dedicated soft rubber winter compound. So, we're dead old people taking the fucking old people, man. Well, I'm an old person too, but I don't give a shit. Anyway, but you know, that's Florida for you, man. Fucking big business for medical. But the winter, you know, these things here, the weather grips, they're really an all-season tire with a 3-peak snow mountain rating that they can go in the snow pretty good. But the tread on them looks pretty aggressive. What I like about that though is it's not necessarily for snow. Sometimes you pull off road a little bit, you got a little bit of dirt and mud and stuff like that. These things will just pull you right the hell out of here, man. This car couldn't be too good in snow anyway because it's too freaking low. And but probably wouldn't be bad, these tires and shit. But anyway, I better do a quick update on that. I don't like doing updates on YouTube because it's too restrictive. But anyway, over now.